As expected, the Heat pretty much reshaped their entire two-way group, which was previously Javante Smart and Michael Mulder. A little bit earlier today, it changed into Marcus Garrett, which I think we all pretty much expected was going to happen. If not, he was going to be on the roster. Just somebody, a perimeter defender, upside offensively. If he can get that type of catch and shoot three or something offensively, it's pretty ideal because he's already an NBA level defender, or has the upside to be an NBA level defender. The other guy they signed is somebody that kind of came as a shock because they didn't go from their own team. They did what they do best, and they look around the league and find somebody that fits their mold. And that was Darius Days from San Antonio and Spurs Summer League team. They stole him, signed him to a two-way. So I just want to showcase a little bit what he is at this stage. He's a 6'7" forward, 245 pounds, just a really big guy that can do a bunch of different things offensively in the low post, three-point shooting. I'm going to show a little bit of that. It was interesting because in an interview, he was talking about, he brought up PJ Tucker, and it's funny enough because Tucker's on the way out of Miami and he's on the way in. Could he potentially fill a void there? I highly doubt he's going to have that type of role, but it's cool to see that he could be a light version, I guess, in the future for them to develop. Now, when we bring up PJ Tucker, there's one part of PJ Tucker's game that he did not have, and that's the above-the-break shooting. That's something that Darius Days has very early on. He has an above-the-break shot that they utilize. They use him as a pick-and-pop guy. He can shoot from the corners as well. In his junior year, he shot 40% from three. But there's still a little bit of stuff that's not just the pick-and-pop stuff. There's a little bit of this right here that I'm going to showcase of a face-up, jab step, and kind of setting up himself as I go back right here. Catches, turn, jab, steps right into it on a face-up, strong contest, and he knocks it down. This is in the recent Summer League game. Another Summer League game right here. Runs a little double drag. Terrible defense that you're going to see right here, so don't take that into account. Both defenders basically slide down with the roller. He has an open three up top, and he nails it. He has that type of pick-and-pop ability, and that's kind of what makes him an intriguing prospect, at least if that can carry over, because he already has the size. I'm going to talk about the defense. And if that three can carry over, then there's little something there, especially because it's incredible value on a two-way. This isn't a bottom of the roster spot even. This is a two-way contract, and we saw what they've done in the past. Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Caleb Martin of last season. These guys evolved pretty quickly. So this is another one right here. Shot goes off the board. He grabs it, tips it in. Just want to showcase really quickly that he is a really good rebounder. I'm not just going to sit here and show normal defensive rebounds, but he has the ability to really crash the boards offensively and defensively. And like I said, he's only 6'7", so the ability to do that is something. Goes up here, and once again, after a miss, gets a pump fake, gets it around the rim. He's just has a good feel around the rim, which, once again, I'm going to say it again. He's 6'7". He's not a 7-foot big man that has good feel around the rim, but he is 245 pounds. He knows how to use his size. And once he gets that guy, as I showcase one more time, as I go back a little bit, once he sees somebody like this go up in the air, he knows he's quick enough to sneak in under. He gets him in the air, he gets it and lays it in. Now, another one right here, off the rim. He's going to miss, gets the offensive rebound. He's going to get into a post, falls away, and he hits it. There's just a really good touchdown there that I think we see. We could talk about a guy like Orlando Robinson. I know a lot of people were thinking he could possibly get the two-way. He's on an Exhibit 10. He'll be in Heat training camp. But this is a guy that's a little bit quicker. He has can move around, I guess, defensively a little bit more. And as much as we talk about Orlando Robinson being able to do things in the post, I think there's more of an ability to stretch things out with Darius Days. Is we see that he can have the normal low post stuff, but what we're going to transition into is there's a lot of mid post stuff, which kind of is the ideal spot for him in the NBA if he moves forward. Now, another example right here is that plays right here. He gets in the low post. As we continue on this low post stuff, can use his size, like I keep talking about, gets an and one. These were all Summer League kind of clips, and that's what makes this intriguing. If you go back to college, as a quick showcase right here, he's operating much higher right here on this play specifically. And when we look back to last Heat season, they didn't have a lot of mid-post guys. They had Markieff Morris, they had Bam, and that was pretty much it in terms of front court guys. If you want to basically label Jimmy as that, you can. But when you look at Caleb Martin or a Dwayne Dedmon, a PJ Tucker, and Omer Yurtseven, all these guys were not mid-post guys. So it was good when Markieff came in because it was a little bit of change of pace offensively. We know what Bam can provide. But if you have a guy come in that can play a type of role like this, low post, pick and pop threat, and then also mix in a little bit of this, that's really something. He's not going to be the focal point of the offense where they're making him the distributor, but he has the ability to do it, I guess, if you're projecting forward even more. Right here, you're going to see him just kind of setting up offense at a post split, feeds it inside of the free throw line. guy hits the jumper right there. That just being able to do that type of stuff. And just a quick little kind of note on his passing as I go back a little bit. He has this ability off the attack too. Let's just say he runs a pick and pop and he gets it right here. He can kind of show drive and he can dish a little bit. As you see right here, gets by, can dish it inside. Once again, bad defense on the other side of things, but it's still being able to make those reads is important. Now, the last thing I just want to show, I know everybody that signs with the Heat, you want to know what can they do defensively. That's why when Nikola Jovic signed, I think it was a little bit of a surprise because they always preach defense with a lot of these guys. So they went offense with him. This is a guy that's not known for his total defensive ability of like a Marcus Garrett, but he definitely has the ability there because he has the size, he has the wingspan, and he just has the natural ability with stuff like this. Just on the attack, he's not going to be a rim protector by any means, but he can get up like this, make things happen, get the rebound right here. He could stay put on the perimeter, kind of get jump, recover, block it, just stuff like that. I think it's interesting to see where he'll kind of locate defensively because he can be a switchy guy, I think, if they need him to be. And he's one of those guys that, let's say he could switch out to the point guard. I also could say that I think they'd be really comfortable down the line if he switches onto a 5 or a 4. Like, that's kind of where they see him. If he's 245 pounds, he can guard most 5s or at least handle them enough before help comes over. So that's kind of what he is right now. What role would he play for Miami? If kind of like if you imagine what Caleb was last year, I think he can be a type of dunker spot guy, a guy that'll stretch out to the corner, kind of like PJ in that way. I'm not really too sure that he's going to be used a ton as a roller because I don't think he has that in him at this stage. I think he's going to be used more as a pop threat, but that's enough. That's enough for a two-way guy. That's enough to showcase something because if he does stick on this two-way prospect into the season, as we know with Miami, these guys are going to get playing time eventually, and they're going to be able to showcase their skills. So Darius Days, Marcus Garrett, two latest two-ways, and we'll see maybe if he can showcase something tonight. I'm not too sure if he's going to actually play in the Miami's last Summer League game tonight, but if he can, that'll be kind of a blueprint of what he can provide moving forward.